Thank you. So I'm Dr. Pushan Dutta, professor of Amity University, based from Kolkata, India. So Amity University is one of the most premier institutes which has been taking research and training to the next level for engineers, especially for BTech undergraduate technical courses in the field of engineering, mechatronics, artificial intelligence, robotic autonomy. And myself, as a professor working in this university, has given me a lot of foray into the field of research in different domains of robot autonomy and robotics. So, previously, when we talk about artificial intelligence in general, artificial intelligence has always been to emulate the human mind and solve and make decisions on the fly without needing any instructions to get programmed. Especially in AI business and AI modeling, artificial intelligence has played an interesting and a very important role in the field of robotics, and that is why we feel that robotic autonomy is some domain where we can identify the interest of both artificial intelligence and robotics in general. So, when we look into robotics and when we look into AI, what is AI? AI is a method, it's a means where we are solving a situation where hype against reality is solved. And in the general foray of artificial intelligence versus narrow intelligence, artificial intelligence is definitely ushering in various possibilities with the understanding of robotics, where most current systems currently need this field of artificial intelligence. Where robotics, we are doing tasks without any human intervention and performing this program tasks. So, this is the very broad definition of artificial intelligence. Now, how do we identify where AI is transforming the field of robotics is what we are trying to work on and what we are trying to achieve. In most of the cases, artificial intelligence and robotics can coexist. Examples, if we look into artificial intelligence and robotics in household as to human daily living, especially like Astrobot, Eco Show on wheels, whereby robots use artificial intelligence to navigate along the home. Manufacturing sector is another sector where artificial intelligence is being used, especially in Industry 4.0, where it is potentially transformational. Many companies like Vicarious is using AI on turnkey robotics, where tasks are becoming very complex for program automation. Other being the shadow dexterous hands, which can be agile enough to pick soft fruit without crushing them. Another field where robotics is being used in business is something related to Starship Technologies, which is delivering robots at clear innovation, and they are equipped with mapping systems, sensors, and AI. Miso Robotics Flippy is one more situation which uses 3D and thermal vision to learn from kitchen. So, different aspects are made possible. Definitely, healthcare and the so called Waldo surgeons who are capable of performing operations with incredible accuracy and steady hands. But robots do not have to be able to handle the duties of highly trained surgeons. Is it? It's so. For example, Moxie can run by distributing PPE kits to patient samples, allowing the human doctors more time for caring. Similarly, Aeronox is using AI and robotics to try and ensure that plants get optimal level of sunshine, water and nutrients which are required to ensure it will be growing to its full potential. What's the maximum time do I have at this present point? In that case, I will be explaining different aspects where robotics and artificial intelligence is being used in aerospace, in military, and whatnot. But there is a flip side to the use of robotics in artificial intelligence study or keeping firmly artificial intelligence in our minds. What, and that is why we need to understand where does AI perform or what aspects AI comes into the field. Should I make this screen larger or is it visible to all? DSC host, can you please let me know?
Yes, it is visible.
Okay. So is this the final recording for the data science conference? I hope so. So in that case, what we will discuss on is how AI and the different types of artificial intelligence which fields are there, that is AI free robotic systems which are working with the AI limitations of and continued technologies are there which can push the limits for merging the disciplines of artificial intelligence and robotics in general. So, the space where we have taken the research work is the following fields. Firstly, under the broad scope of artificial intelligence, working with machine learning, where we can approach through deep learning and predictive analysis. Next, natural language processing. Under that will definitely be translation, classification, clustering, and information extraction. Speech to text, robotic applications, translations, where we are converting from speech to text and text to speech. Expert systems, planning, scheduling, and optimization. Under reduction, classification, and probabilistic and temporal approaches. And definitely, when we talk about robotics in general, what are the aspects where robots can approach the use of artificial intelligence, including reactive machines, limited memory, theory of mind, self aware systems, image recognition, and machine vision. So, these are the fields of artificial intelligence which we approach to be our system of choice. So, AI, AI in the 1960s attempts to move beyond the toy domain. And it was first Elysia which was created to demonstrate the futility of AI. So initially when robotics was used with AI, There were some target specific areas to identify whether AI could suit the needs of the future, and Weizenbaum created Elysia to demonstrate the futility of AI. Next came medical diagnosis, speech recognition, planning, and design in the 1970s, where AI research increased. But it was found out that in the 1970s that AI systems took more time and effort to create, and they did not learn so easily. In 1980s, funds dried up for AI, and that's when neural network and multi-layer backpropagation algorithms came into the picture. 1990s, AI life comes into the picture. And today, the new AI is what we are looking into, and these areas of information retrieval, visual understanding, perception have all merged together to create multi-agent systems. So, when we talk about embracing AI for robotics, we are trying to help SMEs do their tasks in more efficient ways, because when we talk about robotics in general, we look into systems where governments can rely upon to increase growth in their economy, provide employment. But why should business, when we look into SMEs and when we look into the aspect of a technology like artificial intelligence to be incorporated into small business is to thrive in a changing marketplace? So this is what a curve look like when companies start developing investors and starts working on their investment process. When you look into the company, as the expectation goes up, there is a first generation product that comes into the picture with high price and a lot of customization needed. As you can see it over here, just after the research and development work starts for a company, there is a first generation product with high price and lot of customization needed by a company is where robotics plays a very important picture. So in this case, what we are trying to do is we are trying to identify the expectation curve for an AI based funding system. So when we talk about an AI based funding system, we are looking into the aspects of data science from different categories. That is, which are those areas where people actually adopt the technologies. They should have early adopters. Secondly, there is a need for supplier consolidation and failures. So, keeping these domains in mind, we need to identify which of the companies are working integratedly in an integrated manner in the aspect of artificial intelligence and robotics, and how we can support those companies. So there is an initial technology trigger for all companies which work on artificial intelligence. And this is where our work starts. So when we are trying to identifying the data, first what we have done is we have tried to collect some data, we have tried to train the model and deploy the model. So this is the step for machine learning based approach. So these are the differences between a machine learning and a data science based algorithm. Now when we look into the aspect of machine learning, What we are trying to identify is on the work of clustering, anomaly detection, association, and dimensionality reduction. So there are different aspects, like there is a smart speaker is there. Then there is image classification is there. There is a machine learning life cycle for every data machine where we need to have a proper understanding of the data as well as the business, and there should be a certain data maturity process for a business that should be known in the machine learning life cycle. So the initial system for an RPA system where we are applying analysis, credit reporting, and accounts receivable for a system that is AI and finance is one of the important fields where robotics is applied. So in this application, we know that when robotics is applied to this field of AI and we try to automate a system to identify the marketable products, what are the areas where robotics will be applied? First is voice and face recognition. Next, under this voice and face recognition, there should be targeted advertising and remarketing. So if a person is identified that he comes from this certain background, then that person is targeted by an AI based model. So if that person is moving across different areas, there are certain billboards that will try to identify him. Then chatbots, online support, and virtual assistance agents. So when we look into the entire system for an AI and robotic autonomy, there are similar approaches which needs to be applied and algorithms which are to be applied. So targeted advertising and remarketing, chatbots, online support, and virtual assistant cycle agents, predictive analytics and customer service, web search suggestions, email spam filters and categorization, automatic scheduling, and Internet of Things. Putting that person into the web of artificial intelligence and robotics collaboration. So, what kind of data we are going to get from this? One is customer service data. Next, medical diagnostic data. And third is cyber security based model data. So these are the types of data that we are trying to get from the robotics platform. So if we look into the advantage of keeping this robotics platform as for AI and finance, there are certain ways by which we can identify and we can say that a certain system performs better than the rest. Why? And the models which make it perform better than the rest. One is risk assessment, next is risk management, fraud detection, credit decision, financial advisory services, trading, and preventing cyber attacks. So, the branches where robotics and AI both have spread are the following. For example, security. Security has always been, for example, CCTV footage is applicable. CCTV has always been security and intelligent applications have been applied in military, have been applied in household systems, and they have taken care of this entire process of rendering the data for human need, where AI and robots both may play a parallel role. Now, towards my left side, you can see more of those elements where AI will play a much important role. Whereas to the right side, you see those elements or those domains where robotics might play a very important role. So towards my left side is my AI base, and towards my right side is the robotics based system. So in both the areas, AI, artificial intelligence and robotics are playing a role. But robotic technology is more important towards this side, dynamics and motion control. That is more also important. Now, why is the need for application of AI? Firstly, automation of tasks, prioritizing any concrete value system, adding AI capacity to your existing products and services. If you look into companies which are applying AI and robotics both together, what they are trying to do is identify the potential buyers for any product. So, for doing that, they need an AI software where lot of data and resources can be gathered in a single dashboard. So, there are different ways by which you can approach a artificial intelligence optimization algorithm. Now, some of the ways and means have been suggested by us. Some of the ways and means already existed. Now, when we talk about optimization in general, where does optimization start? Its goal. So it's an iterative process. There is not a single way where we can get or know the best solution possible. But what we are trying to identify in case of optimization, or what is our goal for optimization, ultimately is not to realize about how obvious a system can perform, but where we can apply those iterations and compare between two probabilities by taking some random value. So if we have kept a random value and it is randomly located at some position, there this is a Popeye algorithm. So this we call as a Popeye algorithm. So this is a new kind of algorithm. So what we have done is we have tried to generalize Popeye to eat the spinach. Now, when he eats the spinach is very random, just like an AI goal. It's very random. But although it is random, but still it needs to be identified how it can reach its local best condition in the minimum amount of time. So similarly, in India we have one more element called as Chota Bhim. So what we are doing over here is we are using animated elements and we are trying to use an optimization algorithm or a random generation algorithm. Now, as you see in his hand, there are pancakes, and Chota Bhim starts eating those pancakes. But where is the time or the time duration after which he will start eating and he will end it? So, if you look into this aspect of artificial intelligence and robotics, how does he update the velocity is what matters. So we are using those characters. So in as per the characters, Popeye eats spinach, and there is a certain instant where Popeye will start eating spinach. So that is transformed into an algorithm. Now that same algorithm suggests that When he eats the spinach, his hands will grow, he'll become stronger. But it's just the opposite in case of Mr. Chota Bhim. When Chota Bhim is eating the pancakes, he will be very hungry and his bag goes up with wealth. So this is a separate kind of optimization that is being applied. Similarly, Tom and Jerry, so Jerry. So Jerry is going to move around. Once he finds the cheese, then he is simply going to update his position and the velocity. He will take the cheese away and he will stop roaming around. He will eat it. So how we can also monitor a Jerry using artificial intelligence and robotics. So there is one more algorithm that we have designed so far. That's the happy kid. You have all most probably heard about the happy kid. So the kid is happy when he gets a banana. So that's what we are applying over here, a happy kid problem or a happy kid algorithm. So in this case, we are applying various probability selection process to select a robot, and depending on the iteration that the robot is going to follow, to find out the global based solution. So based on the iteration possible, the robot is moving towards the local based or the local global based solution. Similarly, what we have done is multiple strategy human practice swarm optimization. This we have tried to see how, if children are initialized or artificial children are initialized, they can find their local best and global best. So we have such algorithms in general. So next is AI transformation. And the next step is AI and society. So depending on AI systems, there may be a future where artificial intelligence and robotics as a technology will be performing not only to create areas of manufacturing, aerospace, healthcare, but also to optimize different characters and to use those algorithms in different ways to track our nature, and this may in turn help us to create a new future or a new device which do not need any kind of supervision once they are programmed to do a task correctly. So that's why when we look into the process of explainable AI, that's when we will see that the application of robots in using the artificial intelligence, machine learning, computer vision will play more roles in applying what we think is a human environment. So with these words, I would like to complete my lecture for today. Thank you so much.